So, what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, we concluded January with Matthew's gospel of Jesus calling Andrew and Peter and James and John, two sets of relatively unremarkable brothers who were fishing folk, and Jesus walks along the beach and calls them. And we've got lots of hymns and stories, and we can imagine what it would be like to be called by Jesus and then actually extrapolate that into what's going on in our lives today and how Jesus is calling us. And yeah, we did that a little bit. But the way we usually tell the story implies that Andrew and Peter, James and John, that they didn't know Jesus. But what if they did? What if Jesus was known around the area? What if Jesus was known throughout Galilee? I mean, he was a Galilean, and everybody seems to know each other in various regions and areas and small towns. Everybody seems to know each other in Newfoundland. Why not in Galilee? So what if they did know? What if they knew what Jesus was up to and wanted to be part of it? How would they get to be part of it? So we imagined that today a little bit. We imagined people auditioning or applying for the job. And we heard from the zealots, and we heard from all the talented people and the gifted folk, and we heard all of those things. And I asked people to wonder whether you'd get in line too. Would you apply for the job? If you knew that Jesus was going to change the world, would you drop what you're doing? Would you leave what you're doing behind and follow? And we wondered about that. And I confess that I probably wouldn't, that I don't want to give it all up. I'm still working at that. I'm not talented and gifted and I'm not amazing like so many of these people who'd be applying for the job would be. And so I would let them do it. And I would be glad that they changed the world. But I think that I would just keep working at the things that I know how to do. I know how to be an okay minister. I'm a pretty decent husband. I'm an okay father. I mean, all those things. I know I'm going to work on those things. I may not win awards, but I'm going to do the thing I know how to do. So I probably wouldn't. But then it occurs to me, and what we all considered, is that Jesus finds these four relatively ordinary fishermen, not award winners, and he asks them to keep doing what they're doing, but to do it for God. He doesn't say to Peter and Andrew, stop being fishers. No, I want to make you fishers now for God. I want you to take your skills, your talents, your weaknesses. I want you to take what it is you do, but I want you to do it in a way that God has revealed. I want you to do it in a way where those who feel unlovable recognize that they are loved. I want you to do it in a way that includes, not excludes. I want you to do it in a way that ever so slowly changes hearts and minds and changes the world. Because that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to do it with regular people. That's what I imagine Jesus doing. I think that's why Jesus calls them, and that's why Jesus asks them to stay fishers. If they were accountants, he might have said, Come help me tally up the sheets for God. Come help me be a sweeper for the Lord. Come help me be a librarian of kindness. Come, whatever it was that they knew how to do, Jesus asks them. And so what we thought about today is, what is it that we do? Not necessarily award-winning, but the things that we know how to do, that we're comfortable doing. What are the things that we are generally called into in our lives? And how can we do those things for God? How can we do those things in such a way that people are included, that people recognize their value and their worth, that people recognize that they're not alone, that God is all around us, beckoning us, comforting us, assuring us, inspiring us? How can we do that? Because that's the kind of call that I think Jesus offered on a beach a couple thousand years ago. And I think it's the call that's offered today. That's what we thought about today. And we sang everything from great is thy faithfulness to my love colors outside the lines. And we recognize that, yeah, there is something magnificent in our traditional selves and in our coloring outside the lines selves. There's something wonderful in ritual and something wonderful in imagination. And all of it somehow today connected us to each other and to God. And it connected us to you. And hopefully that means that you'll be with us soon, because we miss you. But until we see you, just know that you're not alone. Know that you're blessed, and know that you're called to do what it is you do in such a way that we can change the world. See you soon. God bless.